Hello friends, I'm Colonel Failure and you're watching Transport Fever in a style of a Metropolis. Something like that anyway. We're gradually going to build towards being a Metropolis kind of setup here. But we start in an unconventional fashion today where we're revisiting the evil that is the original pork barrel loan that I took out in order to get the series started. And I'm going to pay quite a lot of it back off again as the oil train arrives there, as you can see it dimly in the background. So I'm going to do this somewhat rapido, but here's how the system works. So these are my original pork barrels here. I've got the pork payback mod sat here. So as you remember, if you pick up a pork barrel, you get 500 grand. Very nice. One of these, however, costs 500 grand. Oh dear. So I'm going to place one like that, and then I shall go to my bulldozer and delete two. That's how it's going to work, and I'm going to do that now. So you can stick around, and once I've finished doing this, until I've emptied a fair chunk out of my bank account, then we'll get on with the show. Yeah, that was quite expensive. Still, that's over half of them gone now. Right, stick around and we'll get on with business. Right then, we pick up the action watching the Sioux Falls bulk freight here as it's heading to Sioux Falls, perhaps unsurprisingly. And it's got quite a lot on board actually. For a little while, this was looking like costing me quite a bit of cash in order to get it from point A to point B, while running quite a lot of empty wagons. But it seems like it's picked up again, and I don't know whether that's because my throughput of other lines has started to pick up, or simply just because it feels like it. I'm going to claim this one for myself and say that you know, this was all my doing. I made this work. But as we look at the cargo, we'll carry on following through. We don't need to see that residential building. As you'll see, we've got quite a lot of steel, we've got some planks, we've got some construction materials, a bit of fuel, some food, and some goods, which is all jolly splendid. Now, obviously, there's room for quite a lot more on there, but that's not a bad place to kind of start off with. And we're going to follow it all the way to the destination for a couple of reasons. Firstly, we haven't done this in a while, and secondly, I haven't got any money at the moment. So hanging on for a couple of minutes will hopefully remedy that situation, because some idiot decided to spend absolutely everything. I did pause there for a moment when I had 40 million left and go like, maybe I'm going to need some cash in order to do something in today's show. But no, I decided instead just to spend all of it, and now here we are. But we're back up to 15 million already, so we'll have a bit of a poke around to start with before finding today's exciting project. Another, I've a mood that it might just be redeveloping the main hub queue in order to get more trains in there more effectively. Don't know yet. We'll have to wait and see. Well, there's a shocker. Look, there's a commuter train that's waiting. Yes, waiting is what they do. I don't know whether to fix that or not, to be honest. It kind of works, and I believe that line's profitable. Actually, there's quite a lot of action going on back there. That's all good, but again, it's hardly surprising. And there we go, into the depot there. How much do we make on this this run? Made $1 million. That's all right. 3.4 million it made last year, and that's $1 million in the bank right now. I'm interested to see how much it picks up. And obviously there's quite a bit waiting, but it's more about how much it's actually going to take back with it. I don't need to explain that, you know, the more it takes back, the greater the profitability of the service. We know that already. Is that a lot? That's the lot. You've got 11 machines and then 38 tools. That's really not very much, is it? I think tool production could do with a big uplift in terms of throughput. I mean, the Sioux Falls, this train doesn't visit very often, and the little Alco we've got here making deliveries. I mean, it's what? I mean, it's carrying more now than the big train just picked up, and it's not that it's short on materials either. We've got 150 and 358. That's going to keep things busy for a while. Okay, no, I won't worry about it. I think that's going to pan out just fine. So the Series A is, as you know, called Metropolis, and the original idea, which I still haven't fully realised, is to turn this interstitial area between Sioux Falls and El Paso, is to fully citify it, and then possibly even go further than that to Detroit. And I think if I were to set one objective to complete before the end of this series, that would probably be it. With several commuter services built in. As you can see, we've got a passenger line running here that could quite easily have some commuting going on. There's an awful lot of goods happening here. There's an unholy amount of goods happening here, and everybody's getting held up. Okay, well, that's not ideal, and this is in part because the queue area here. This is not a queue area. This is all approach, and this is kind of what I want to avoid. As the trains get longer, forming queues that actually work becomes more challenging because you need a massive amount of queue area to make that happen. But as you can see, we're getting two fairly lengthy ones coming in right now, and that's not so bad. Obviously, I just joined at a moment where there was quite a lot of waiting going on. But it's certainly not ideal. And part of the problem, of course, is that these trains do take some time to get up to kind of trundling speed. And therefore, hold on, why are you waiting? Which line are you trying to go on to? Yeah, you see, we can take you further up here. That's quite all right. We can take you as far as here without causing disruption to others. We'll stick in a modern signal. That way we know that I've done it recently, because obviously all of this was built when only semaphores were available. But as long as stuff is moving, then it's working. If it stops moving, then you've got a queuing problem to contend with. Now, I mean, and this is the challenge here, is that you've got all of these switches going on here to prevent things getting to where they need to be, and then these are all outbound signals that you've got going on. Look at this. This is pretty ancient. Where are you heading? Brussels. You know what? I think you might be due an upgrade. Soonish, I reckon. I mean, we're in 1954. We should probably start thinking about a slightly more robust goods service coming up in the future. But not today, because I've spent all my money on worthless pork, which, you know, we didn't get to eat any of that. Apple sauce is out of stock. Here's the food train. Now 6:30 is the capacity. Oh, it can easily do that. No, it's unloading. Oh, that will have just made an absolute fortune. Sawmill still complaining. Why is that sawmill complaining? Let's go and have a look. Right, okay. Here's the sawmill, and it's complaining. And this is a unrelated service. It is an unrelated service. What are you waiting for? Talk to me. Try to ship more items. You're not even using the line. The production's at 640. you've got logs in stock. Where's your problem? This is, I believe, the biggie, right? So maybe it just gets irate, and this will be the train, because it has to wait a long time for the train to do its lap. Let's see what the actual turnaround time on it is. Let's do it this way. There we go. Lumber processing. It's only 6 minutes. Get a grip. You're doing fine. Don't give me all that flannel about there being, oh, if only you were to ship more items. I'm shipping all the items you can possibly output there, chum. So cease your wittering, frankly. And as you can see, Hub 2 is actually a rare delight right now. Who's it waiting for? International steel delivery. International steel delivery. That's a phenomenal amount waiting there. And obviously then you've got international consumer goods, which is the one that heads out to the main hub. This is all looking quite promising. Where's steel delivery? Is this it? Nope, this is Wolverhampton. And it's rocking this little electric. Very nice. It could just be me, but this little electric, the way the bogies are attached there, it does very much seem like this is the monster truck equivalent of an electric train. I mean, it's getting the job done, so I'm not going to complain, but it does seem to be riding quite high. Maybe it's suited for off-road. Hard to say. That's lumber. Where's the steel train? And why is it taking so long? Okay, there we go. These questions will be answered momentarily. Here's the steel train. Right, you're doing almost 60 already. That's not that slow. I mean, it's not quick, but it's not that slow. You've got a capacity of, what, 275? Okay, well, you know, that shouldn't be too big a trauma. I don't know. Maybe we need to up the tempo and put something more powerful on there. Either way, it's running. Wolverhampton to Shanghai has just made a pickup of 0 passengers. That's a bit of a disaster. Wolverhampton to Shanghai. Are the trains too bunched up? Well, I don't see another one for miles, so I doubt very much that's the case. Okay, well, look, yeah, we could just run around today looking for problems and going, oh, yeah, that might be a problem, and then doing nothing about it. Or we could crack on and do something productive. Now, the queuing system here, it works reasonably well, where we go 4 into 2. Well, we go 8 into 4 into 2. And you're always going to end up with some queuing when you do a slowdown of that kind. So there you go. Here's the steel delivery, making it happen. Steel, planks, excellent. Trundle along now. The only real solution you've got is to actually run multiple lines. But I think what we're going to look at, I've got the cash to do it now, is the approach over here. Now, it's not broken at the moment. Right now, it's working. But that's not always going to be the case. And when it does start queuing, the queue lasts for quite some time. So what would be good, and I've hit pause there because as much as the extra cash would be nice, I don't want trains getting in the way while I try and make this work. Actually, it shouldn't be that difficult. If we go back to here, I'm going to regret this because this wasn't working that badly. Just wasn't working that well, and that's what we're going to try and resolve. The challenge, of course, is not to miss anything. Leaving one tiddly little bit of track in the way will play merry hell with me trying to plunk it back in properly. There we go, that's it. Marvellous. Now, we're always going to have a bit of a bottleneck here because of the corner. The corner is as slow as it's possible to go. But I don't mind that too much. It's more about maximising the amount of space that these trains get to wait when coming around the corner. There we go. Right. So that is the maximum. Is it? Could I go a bit further? I could. No, I think that's probably about it. This is about the maximum distance that I've got to merge these. What are we looking at here? 2. That's another 2 theoretically, but it's turned into 1 already. Well, we could always do that, I suppose. That might simplify things a little. Yeah. Well, so I mean, we've got to take this lot and turn it into 2 tracks, 1 inbound, 1 outbound. Now, I could make that multiple tracks, right? So I could turn it into a 4, I could turn it into a 6, but I'm not going to do that. Right, we're going to go with 160 limit standard poles, as is the way, but without any electrification, so standard poles is not a thing. And then we'll pull this round up to about there. Right, so that's going to be the final merger point. That's going to be the final place that we can have signals on the inbound before we get to all this lot up there. Am I thinking this through at all? I'm not. I'm going to end up building exactly the same ruddy thing again, aren't I? Let's go even more aggressive with this. Right. Yeah, if you're going to break some eggs, take the whole box and throw it on the floor. That's what I say. And obviously you have to break some eggs in order to give yourself a bit of floor to clean up. Right, there we go. Get rid of all of this. Right, yeah, love it. Keep it going. So tasty. Right, good. Marvellous. Thank you. Well, that was dramatic. Good. Yes, I am now regretting this course of action, because you now look at it and go, oh no. Well, now you've got to fix it, haven't you? Right, let's get this sorted first. Might as well make it so that we've got a nice straightforward bit of flatness to work with. Now then, if I recall correctly, we're going to have a look at this first. I've got a series of pre-built junctions that would do the job quite nicely here. A track ladder is what they like to call it. Right. Okay. So here we go. Let's have a look. Now then, we want original standard 120, maybe 50. What I want is 35 meters 160, please. 35 meters 160. 35 meters 160. Good. Right. Electrification. Yeah, I probably should. No, I'm not going to. No, all of the trains that come out of here, they'll either run steam or they'll run diesel. Okay? So we're not going to electrify this bit. Again, likely to regret that. Number of tracks, 10. Okay, now that's going to eat all of my queue space there. Track distance. What happens if we go 9? Okay, see if it looks different if I go 10. I think that is longer. So if we go track distance 5, yeah, okay, that's the short one. Last section, open or closed. I think we'll leave that open. Sounds right. And then slope. No, we don't need slope. We might want some curve, but I don't think it's offering me curve as an opportunity here. So maybe not. What's this then? Oh, look at that. Well, ain't she jolly? Okay. Interesting. Now, that's just bought me a phenomenal amount of space. The trick is going to be... Here's the challenge. I want to turn this off just for a sec. The challenge is that some of these platforms, and I couldn't tell you which they were, some of them will have more than one train coming in from this direction, I think. Actually, there's no reason for that. I've got enough track space here. I've got enough platforms between in the hub as a whole that each train coming in from this direction can have its own platform. Therefore, I can run all of these segments in two-way. I say that quite confidently. Whether or not it's true really does remain to be seen. But how are we going to do this then? Because this all sounds great and all. Well, we've gone into one here. Hold on, I'm trying to form a mental picture. How much is this going to cost? 20k. So if I make this go the other way, so orientation left rather than right. Okay, and then just look at it. I have no idea whether this is the right thing to do, the wrong thing to do. I'm just going to have a quick peek and see if this makes any kind of sense as far as my brain is concerned. Okay, right, I think... Hold on. Do you, though? Maybe? Maybe I'm starting at the wrong end. Leave that there for the moment, so you've got it as a reference point. Now then, let's do this lot and get them to do something coherent. So if I put just a sliver in there... Right, that's my target point. So I want to get round the corner onto... at least in parallel with that. In fact, yeah, if we make it so that the objective is to go in parallel with it, then we can work from there. So here comes the this is the depot. Where's the shunting line? Here's the shunting line. Now we'll worry about the shunting line last, but it means that we can't put anything here because it needs to get across the line. It needs to cross over. Yeah, you're still not any closer to having a solution to this, are you? You've drawn a little bit of track, and that's now foxed you entirely. All right. Well, what if I did that? Huh? How's that look? Does that look like it's going? It does look like it's going straight. We're not swan necking there. So if we take everything out that way. Okay. Well, you're driving, so you know, be my guest. What do you mean collision? No, you don't mean collision. You mean do a little bit first and then finish it off. About there should do it. How's that? Good. Right, and these. I don't even know if we need these or not, but we're going to make sure that they've got the opportunity to do this correctly. Construction's not possible. Yes, it is. Construction's possible. Trust me, it's totally possible. What's your drama? What's your dilemma here? What's the what exactly is occurring? Well, you don't want to delete that. That looks like it might be useful. Try it again. There you go. You know, maybe it's simply a case of give it a little bit of a wiggle out and then get it doing the rest of it. Okay, so all of these are platform lines, right? So every one of these ends in a platform at some point. Even these throughput tracks, I believe, there we go, see, end up with a bit of platform action. You've got one here that doesn't do anything. This one here is just a plain dummy track. Cool. I ought to stick something on that as you know, scenery or something. Regardless, it really ought to look like it can connect up to something. Otherwise, it's just scenery for the sake of scenery. Which, you know, that's the domain of Slim. That is. I josh Slim because I care. Now then, let's keep it going. Yeah. Right, and bang that in there, and a spot of this. That's it. Now, I mean, this now at least looks like it's got some kind of an idea behind it. We're going to need to go a bit further than that. Yes, I know it is looking rather similar to last time, but the ideal is that we don't have any crossovers until the final merger, or any points rather, until we finally merge these together, because that will then turn this into the queue. Right, and that's a jolly good thing. So, I would kind of hope that it's a jolly good thing. Right, any more for any more out that side? No, there isn't. We just need this lot going. So you need to come in. Let's give you a spot of parallel there. No, you've formed a junction, which normally that would be a cause for celebration for it to just kind of do it by itself, but not today. Okay, go onto that one, and then you up here alongside there. Then we need to figure out the depot, of course, and I think actually the depot might be easier served coming in the other way. So going direct onto a set of points there. Okay, right, if you like. But we'll pull this out alongside the rest of the team anyway. There you go. Almost swan necking. Maybe take this forward a little further. You're gonna run out of room real quick here, and that's the challenge. There we go. Yeah. Yeah, love it. Okay, right. Well, this is kind of progressing in the direction that we wanted to progress in the direction of. Masterful. Oh, look at it. Look at this lovely section of straight track that we've got going on here. Now, if only this were fully occupied with all trains all the time, that would just look brilliant. But I think that might be a dream too far, that one. Anyway, let's continue with the agenda. There you go. Keep going. Some of this is probably unnecessary, but I'm doing it anyway because that way it will look good. Flipping heck, this really is a monstrous bit of track going on here. I only hope that track ladder junction that we've started tinkering with is up to the job. Right. Now then, how much queuing space is that? Nowhere near enough. But as you can see, at the minimum, you've got this amount here to play with, and I wonder. All right, I've got an idea. Yeah, kill that. Okay, what I'm going to try here is we're going to take aim with our turnout here for the end of the depot line, and then we'll have everything else cross over all tracks using this cascade to get to the appropriate platform track platform. So if I take that onto there, you've immediately swan-necked on me. You total peasant. There you go. No, it's not going to... If you do the same thing twice, it's not going to do anything different. There you go. And then rather like that. Now, this accomplishes several things in one dynamic hit. First off, it accomplishes a slight improvement in speed on this corner. That's a good thing. Right, let's take that back there, and then let's try this. So I need to come round until we're actually about there, and then we'll hopefully get a result out of this. Am I missing something obvious? It feels like I'm missing something. It doesn't feel like it should be this straightforward. Maybe I'm just being, paranoid. All right, take that back, and then we'll plumb this in here, and then we'll make that corner work. Hang on, I might have to take back what I just said about this corner not being too tight. 62, that's not quite as good. All right, hold on. Let's... Oh, I don't know. Just how about doing it to there? All right, that might do it. Try that. Okay, yeah, this looks better. There we go. 95 on that corner now. Perfect. That's much better. And then can we do that? Not without colliding. All right. Well, that's lane 2. If we can get this to work, and I'm under no illusion that I can. How many do we actually need? There's the other thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 in total. Right. All right, well, we could always put another fountain coming off the side here to address the last 5. Maybe. But, okay, so this will go onto there. All right, that's the notion. That's looking wretched. All right. Well, maybe if we try this on the one that it's most suited to, and then we can adjust out of it. There you go. That's the way to do it. Right. How many of these have I got? Sorry, I'm going to count again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That one. Okay. There. You. There. There we go. Right. This is the one. This is it. This is it. Yeah, totally got it. And then look at the amount of queuing space they've got now. That is much better. So if you work on the basis that you've only got one train from this end on each platform, then what you end up with here is the ability to stick a signal right before the platform so they can come in and queue, and then on the way back out again, which you've yet to figure out how you're going to make that work. There may be some minor adjustment that involves deleting a heck of a lot of track that comes up in a moment. But what I'm desperately hoping is that I can run this track straight over all these points. Now, given that it wouldn't do it before I connected it up, I'm only 27% optimistic that that's going to happen. But, you know, 27% is way more than 0. Here we go. I claim it as victory. Victory is what I claim, and I claim victory. Brilliant. Okay, right, take that to there. And then get me another cascadey shebang here. With how many do we need? So you got 1, and then we've got 3. Turnout number 4. No, I don't need 4. I need 3. Here we go. Do a bit of that. Hook this up onto here. Oh yeah. Oh well. Now we're really flying. That's going to be a little bit of a challenge, though, isn't it? Because you're going to struggle to squeeze your track in there. Maybe if we start this end, and then we'll have a look. If adjustments need to be made, that will be the time that we make them. Can you, do you feel like snapping here? Hold on, maybe if we come this way a little, I don't think this is going to work. I think we're going to need to do we're going to need to do a bit of an adjustment here. Oh well, it was a beautiful dream. I'll tell you what, we could actually just get rid of the fancy junction, and we'll go manual with this character. Will we? That's a bold statement. Well, you never know. Do that. There you go. Right. Now you're just missing 3, so you could do 1 off there. Okay, and then you could do the next one from, I don't know, about, delete that bit. Do the next one off about here. No, that's it. Yeah. That's a nice angle. Keep that. Just hook up the last bit. Like so. Now the trick there, I mean, this is it exclusively depot? It is. This is exclusively depot, so I can just leave that, and that'll be absolutely dandy. Do that as well, because I want to continue following this kind of curve across here. Go on, you had it. That was good. There you go. And then onto about there. Hook that back up. Now then, do I need anything else on there? We can just slip junction these In fact, we don't even need to do all of them. We could just do one. But you know, why slip junction 1 when you can slip junction 15? That's what I've always believed. There you go. Bit of that, bit of this. Marvellous. I think I've done it. Have I? Have I done this? Has that worked? Yeah, it has. Yeah, that's exactly right. That's exactly what you needed it to do. Well, there you go. Hooray for me. I am the champion. All others are not the champion. So if we stick one on there, right, that's the last cue point before madness allows itself to be witnessed, and then we'll stick another set of, or let's call it a suite of signals just before the platform edge, in case they are facing off against a train coming in from the opposite direction. Now, the only reason that should happen, excuse me, is because there is a train coming into the platform from the other end of the track, at which point they will turn round and clear off. So it is utterly unnecessary. I'm liking what I'm seeing here. Except for that one. You stop that. There we go. We'll do this lot here. Now, the depot is a slightly different kettle of fish, because by sticking those there, it could cause trouble if I'm sending some trains back to the depot while deploying others. We have one that is very confused, and I'll address that in a moment. But as far as queuing space is concerned, sorted. And then we want to make sure that we can queue the other way as well. So just before we hit the junction here, we'll do this. Now, is there a point at which it won't take it? Just because it would be nice to get this to put the signals in a, there you go, like that, yeah, in a stepwood fashion. And actually, I don't want them here, but trust me, there is a method to what I'm doing here. It's going to be good. It's going to cost me a little bit, but the upshot should be quite pleasing. Really, is that all of them? That didn't take long. Right, we'll do one there, and we'll do one here, and we'll do the final one there. And then everything else should just be dandy. You think? I don't know. But we're going to chance it, and we'll stick one there, and we'll stick one here. I know that's the depot, right? So we can afford for the depot to be a little bit weird, because it's going to be used infrequently, and therefore we might get the opportunity to fix that up some. Okay, yep. Yeah, see, look, nice straight line going along there, and then the idea is, did you want one there as well? Which side of the track should it be on? No, that's right, it should be on the... I was hoping it wouldn't let me put another one directly, in which case I might have to live with that, and I'm going to live with that, because that looks quite nice. There we go, right, all junctioned up. Who is stuck? Shunter, of course it is. Here's the point at which everything becomes hateful and doesn't work. Which platform are you actually trying to get in on? Oh, I know which platform you're trying to get in on. Hang on, let's have a look. Freight interchange transfer 1 is right about here, right? Nope. Freight interchange transfer is this one. Nope. You were looking at the wrong one. Okay, all right, where does it go then? It goes to, don't shut it down this time, east. That one? No. This one? Yes. Right, okay, so if it goes to east 3, that's this one, right? That's track 3. Well, that's crossing over much more than I'm really comfortable with you crossing over. I'm also... I'll hold everything. Just no. Hang on a sec. No. Look. Wait. I'm having a moment. I'm having to think about life and things, and how we make this even more amazing than it already is. And the word that I'm thinking of is flyover. Yeah, I know. That's got you excited as well, hasn't it? Yeah, because it's certainly got my temperature racing. Okay, so we come out on this track here for reasons I may or may not fully understand, but we do it anyway. And then I need to land on 3. Okay, well, if we look at East, we've got... How many platforms has East actually got? It's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So if we look at which of those are actually being used... Okay, so there's... so 1, 2, there's 3, which is the one it's currently using. 3 isn't used, and 4 isn't used. And 4 is arguably the smarter call here, because that terminates over there. 4, however, is a much tighter angle. Yeah, okay. I mean, that presents its own level of challenge there, but, you know... All right, so let's stick with 3. Actually, that's not so bad, because we've got this bit of space near the side here that we can work with. Okay. All right. Are you sure? Well, I guess you are, because you're carrying on, and you're no longer commenting on whether you think this is an idea that's worth any kind of merit or not. I'd like to increase the height there. I've done this often enough. You can do that. Yeah, there you go. All right, maybe it's because it's snapped next to all of this gubbins to the side. I'm going to have to unsnap it, perhaps. All right, here we go. Right, you up some. Have I got space for this? If I have, this is going to be a modern-day masterpiece miracle. Go on, go on. Go bridge. Go bridge on me. Show me pillars. Give me the pillars that tell us that everything is absolutely glorious. How far do you need before you get pillared? What if I bench you? Oh, hello, hello. Right, okay, all right. Now we're looking. Now the difficulty is that's gonna collide. So unless I swing out a little first, at which point I may have enough space. What if we change up the pillars for something else? Nah, that's not done anything more convenient, has it? All right, okay. Well, there is a plan B here. If you can't go over, we're just going to see if under complies more rapidly. If under does comply more rapidly, then that's going to be our approach. All right, here we go. Down you go. Captain Nemo. Negative on the Captain Nemo. All right, how much space does it need to get underground? Go on, go on. Tunnel, 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 damn you. Is that tunneling at that point, or is it just a really, really deep gully? It's a gully. Because if I can avoid crossing over entirely, I don't need to explain this, do I? You know, the fact that I have to cross over is potentially problematic. All right, let's try going up again, and this time we'll swing out a smidge. Right, up. That's it. Now then, get over. Close. We're going to need to go this way just a little further. We do run the risk of terrain alignment collision tracks 1 and 2 there. And bridge pillar collision. I'm sure you can figure out a way of not needing quite so many pillars, you know. How far can I get up here? Alright. Not so good. Alright. Tightest angle imaginable while still going up. Okay, right. Well, no, that's there you go. That's what we're looking at. Obviously, with a style of bridge that is a little bit more modern. Modern. Thank you. Now, we've only got one pillar that's actually causing a problem there. I don't know why it's complaining about that one, but it is. So, you know, there's that. Maybe it's trying to put a pillar in there. Now, I can adjust the layout of the tracks that it's crossing. I don't want to, but I can. There you go. So I mean, you know, that's what I was kind of hoping for, is get over something like that. Do we need to do it that close? No idea. Okay, so that was quite a lot of faffing around in order to get this to work, but it has worked, and I think it's going to be well worthwhile. We'll sit out here for a minute or two and see everything there is to see from this. But as you can probably tell, we're riding on board the shunter here that is currently going over this bridge. The bridge is a little higher than I would like. But in order to make it work, I did need to do just ever so small amount of tweaking. But the end result has actually turned out quite nicely. And we'll take a look at it from a slightly different angle. You probably picked it up in the time-lapse, kind of a general idea of what it was doing. But we'll get a more specific idea of what it's doing in just a sec. I just want to come over the other side of this bridge. Man, I need a lot of decorating around here in order to make this look a little bit less Spartan. And we'll get to that, I'm sure. There you go. Right, so there's the station ahead of us down there, and that's where that's heading, and that's working quite nicely. If we're lucky, there's going to be a goods train on the way in. Now, I've got two areas of minor concern. They're only minor concern. So the platform 3, which is the shunter track, is this one here, and I've merged that onto 2, just because, really. I don't have any specific reason for doing so, but I've done it anyway. And then on the 4th one, we have 4, which is one of the passing tracks. In fact, 4 and 5 are both passing tracks in the station, so it's unlikely they're going to be used anytime soon. But I've got them merging together and then splitting again. So these signals are probably unwise, and that I'd be better off, in fact, in the sense of doing this properly. Let's do that. There you go. We'll put those there. I don't think it's going to make anything better or worse, but there it is. Right, okay, here's our first candidate. I'm not even entirely sure. This is going to be a city delivery, isn't it? Yeah, Shanghai. So there's Shanghai coming in now. And as you can see from the length of the train, if you were to back that up a little bit, it's got more than enough space. The real challenge is going to be the food train. Which is, where are you? You're all the way up here. Right, let's activate the afterburners for a sec and see exactly how much queue space we've got versus how much would be totally desirable. I'm relatively confident that this will fit, you know, and if it doesn't, it's only going to miss by ever such a small amount. We'll just have to see how we get on. But there you go. That's it, merging back onto the line there. Perfecto. And there's, I missed one. Oh, I could have done that instead. I'm not entirely sure how I missed that one, but I did. So there it is. But even with the whatever limitations we've got now, just the fact that corner is no longer quite so fast, or quite so slow. Although saying that, you have got this this junction to contend with. Quite wise coming off that one. Rather than... it's because I've double slipped them, right? It's just taken the first available. There we go. Let's see how much of this we can fit into there before we run out of queuing space. And then we question... Oh, no. That's the train coming in the opposite direction. This is working exactly as planned. Here we go. It's going to be close. It's going to be very close. In fact, this might be the exact... right leg. Oh, look at that. Perfect. I doubt very much I'm going to run trains much longer than this, if longer than this at all, and that fits entirely within its own queue, which will mean that other trains can come and go as they please. Oh, well, that's a relief. Well, it's not even a relief. That's a good thing. Anyway, there you go. That's going to wrap it up for today, because I don't think I can do any more damage for one day. I've been Colonel Failure. Thank you for watching. In the next episode, we'll make some replacements of some kind. Not entirely sure what, but I'll tell you, there's nothing more satisfying than faffing around with a junction for a bit. I don't, maybe that's just me. But anyway, sling a subscription in this direction if you want to keep up with the series, and throw a like at this if you enjoyed it. I'll catch up with you very soon. Thanks for watching. Cheerio.